Welcome back, everybody, to this week's live episode of the DCL Duo podcast, brought to you by My Path Unwinding Travel and also our good friends over at WDW Magazine. We're going to have Danny on here in just 1 second. Just wanted to start the show by announcing Go Mariners.
We're repping today. We actually invited someone who's from Toronto on our show tonight. It's a really terrible idea, Brian. I think we might want to kick him out of the show. No,
we're not going to do that. In fact, we're going to bring him on in just a second. But, thank you to all of you who are watching us this evening as we are counter-programmed against a decisive Game 7 for the Mariners and Blue Jays to see who's going to go to the World Series.
Game 6.
No, this game. No.
Yes, it's Game 6, but we are ahead. No, you're right. It's Game 7.
Yes,
it's Game 7. That's right. Sorry, I forgot last night.
Yeah, welcome to Monday. All right. Let's bring on both of our guests quickly. So we have welcoming Danny from WDW Magazine and McKinley from My Path Unwinding Travel. It is like a super sponsor show tonight. We're here for it. We love it. But we're going to be talking Halloween on the High Seas. And so we wanted to have Danny on.
Wait, we got to talk news first, Brian. You're forgetting.
Well, just introing the topic is going to be Halloween on the High Seas. And Danny's going to be doing a little segment with us to talk about some reasons to take a themed cruise on Disney Cruise Line. And but Sam, yes, news. What news do you bring us?
I bring you two pieces of important news. One is about the adventure. We got a look at all of the new stateroom amenity packages on the adventure. There's like a Duffy bedding set. There's like this really beautiful quilt with a castle that looks like kind of that, whatever that garden is called. There's just some really cute stuff. There's a Baymax birthday set. I am like loving all of those in-room amenity packages. I mean, it's kind of a good thing that we don't have a sailing booked on the adventure at this point, because I think I'd just like bankrupt us with just buying every single stateroom package.
If you're out there and you're going on the adventure and you've been looking for something to get Sam for the holidays, the pillow blanket set is exactly her speed.
The Duffy set specifically.
Yeah. There we go.
Do you guys ever book those in-room amenities? We had one on our most recent cruise. It was a surprise in our stateroom, and it really livened up the room. We had like a Bon Voyage set sail decor package. It was delightful.
They're so cute. We've gotten Brian got me the birthday package one time. We've gotten the Halloween package. We've gotten on both the Treasure and the Wish. We got sort of the package that had the blanket that says Wish and pillow and all of that. We love those in-room amenity sets, so I'm super excited about those. McKinley, have you seen those? And if so, what did you think? Is it making you want to book the adventure?
Yeah, I think they're all great. They're all of the amenities that Disney does. I think they're adorable.
Yeah, they do have special ones for Halloween on the High Seas cruises as well. And so that's one thing.
I got a really cool backpack on one of the cruises that I really liked. That was a Disney Cruise Line backpack. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, there's the Halloween one. We actually keep the magnetic stuff and we bring it home, and Sam's used it to decorate our house for the holidays. So.
For sure. We bring some of the magnet stuff back on like subsequent cruises. And the towels. We love the beach towels. And I think we have a whole bunch of different ships and different themed sailings. Like, I'm never short on towels. I got a closet full of DCL towels.
Same. And actually, Nathan needs towels for camp, like for both swim. He goes to sleepaway camp, so he needs them for swim and for showering. And I sent him with all the DCL towels.
You know what? Though,
although not that big Mickey one, the big Mickey one, he doesn't like the texture of that one. It's not a great texture.
It was also shaped like a Mickey head, which is just a bizarre thing to make a towel.
It is a bizarre shape. It was
just tie Mickey's face around my waist in the morning. No, I don't think that's gonna.
No, that one is awkward.
But the bigger piece of news, of course, relates to the upcoming ship, the Disney Destiny, which today left Eemshaven, Netherlands, to depart for basically Florida. I mean, they are stopping in Portugal, so that's essentially their last stop before they cross the Atlantic Ocean is a stop in Portugal. I believe it's in the Azores, and then they will make their way across. So it's I don't know the exact number of days, if it's a 10-day sailing, a 12-day sailing, whatever, but it kind of depends on if they're going to stop at Castaway probably, or if they're headed just directly to Fort Lauderdale. But they headed across, and I'm super excited. I got to tell you, I've got a little bit of inside info that like everything on the ship is ready and everything is open. Like you can, if you are on the ship right now, you can like buy coffee at Cafe Megara. Like that's the kind of stuff going on. I'm super excited. McKinley, do you have a sailing booked on the Destiny? And are you excited for the new ship?
I'm very excited for the new ship. We don't currently have anything booked. I tried to talk a family member into it recently. But yes, I am really hoping to get on there next year.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll get her warmed up for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we know Danny's excited because we know he and I are going to be all about that Hercules musical. So we're
so excited. Yeah, we're really fortunate. WDW Magazine was invited to be part of the media preview for the Destiny, which is the same sailing that you guys are going to be on. Can't wait to see you in person. Can't wait to see the new ship and experience it for myself. We've been following along on the development of this ship, like for it feels like years at this point, and to see it come to reality, to be, to walk up the gangway, to be in those spaces, I'm so excited.
Danny, I don't know how you just don't wear the hard hat they gave you everywhere. Like,
so the hard hat is technically Steph's. For the audience members who maybe missed that episode, my wife and co-owner of the magazine, Steph, she got to tour the Meyer Werft shipyard while they were putting finishing touches on the construction, and she has a very official Disney Cruise Line hard hat and high vis vest, and those are cherished, treasured items. Money can't buy those. And
I know if I ever get invited to your house, Danny, you'll have to check my bag to see. I mean, I'll just change the name to say Sam. I just need to change a few letters.
You and Steph, you just need to scrape the name off the hat and put like a Velcro strip there that you can just apply your name, whoever's wearing the hat.
Anyone, right? Exactly. Just whoever's wearing the hat gets the privilege.
There you go.
Well, all right. Well, we're gonna talk about themed cruises today. Of course, we're going to be talking about McKinley's Halloween on the High Seas cruise. But before we jump into that specific topic, we got to talk a little more generally about themed cruises. There's a lot of different ones that Disney Cruise Line has. Of course, they've got Halloween on the High Seas, Very Maritime Cruises, Pixar Day at Sea, Marvel Day at Sea. They've got in the past, they've had Star Wars Day at Sea. There may be others that they have done or will do in the future.
Coming soon, Muppets Day at Sea.
We keep saying Muppets Day at Sea. Oh, God, what I wouldn't give for Muppets Day
and I will say this to any Disney Cruise Line
person. There isn't one right now. For those listening,
there's not one right now, but for Disney Cruise Line, Muppets Day at Sea, and you have me on record, you can have that licensed in perpetuity, that idea. I don't need anything from it. I just need to see Muppets on board the ships again. So
that's right. But I want to ask the general question to Danny. Why should someone book a themed cruise as opposed to just a regular sailing? Give me top 3 reasons.
It's a great question, Sam. And I did put some thought into this, and here's how I see it. One of the things that I love most about Disney in general is how it celebrates and lets you participate in whatever your fandom is. If you're big into Star Wars, you're big into Marvel, if you have a favorite movie, a favorite character, even a favorite time of year, you love Christmas or you're all about Halloween, Disney really leans into that immersion in whatever your favorite thing is. And I think that experience is heightened when you're sailing, because you're disconnected from the mainland. Maybe you didn't bother to get internet. Like, you're really in this Disney bubble. And then, so if you picked, say, a Pixar cruise because you love every Pixar movie, then you're just like steeped in it the whole time that you're sailing. So I really think that the themed cruises offer a level of immersion that is really special and really detailed aboard DCL. So that's number one. Number
I love
two,
that.
Number two, this, and I'm talking to all the platinum and the pearl cruisers out in the audience, is that it keeps things fresh. You know, if you've sailed to Castaway a million times, if you've done, the Caribbean itinerary, the Mexico trips, if this is a way to keep things fresh, to put a new spin on it. There's different entertainment options. There's some special food and beverage, unique merchandise, all of these things that let you enjoy. Because obviously, if you're, a platinum or a pearl cruiser, you clearly enjoy cruising. But this just gives it a little fresh twist, keeps it a little bit new and exciting. And then my last point, because I know there are people out there who are super diehard about unique characters, is that the themed cruising offers awesome opportunity to see those more rare characters, or even regular like Mickey and friends, but in really unique, really special outfits. I also, this is kind of anecdotal, we'll call this like 0.3, 0.5, but I think that the sailors, the guests on the themed cruises, I think they go a little bit harder on like door decor and like pixie dusting, and like if you're in like a fish extender group, I find that if you're on a themed cruise itinerary, I find people go a little bit extra on all of those sort of fan-led, community-led initiatives on board the cruise ship.
I love that, because I'm super extra.
Well, especially at Christmas time, like people go
Yes.
crazy with
on the fish
decor.
extender and the pixie dust and the door decor for sure.
Yeah.
I would say, Maritime probably the biggest in that sense. All right, well, Danny, before we say goodbye to you for the evening, so we'll let you go watch you can watch our YouTube, or you can watch the Blue Jays
I'm
get beaten by the Mariners.
We're getting real-time updates from Linda in the
we
chat.
are, and I appreciate that, Linda. But we got to tell people how can they get WDW magazine? How can they get the DCL magazine, DLR magazine, and of course save 10% with the code DCL Duo, all capital.
Of course. So you can head to our website, wdw-magazine.com. That's our home online. You'll find all of our publications. We have WDW Magazine, which is our original monthly print and digital magazine celebrating all things Disney. In addition to that, we have DLR Magazine, focused on the original park in California. And DCL Magazine is brand new for us. And if I can just take a moment, you guys may remember we did our float test issue. This was printed under the WDW Magazine banner, so we could test the waters and see if there was an audience for cruise magazine fans. And I'm very happy to say that the float test was a success. And in 2026, fans can look forward to DCL Magazine publishing under its own title. All those details, wait lists, sign-ups, that's all coming very soon. You'll find it all www-magazine.com.
And you will hear about it.
I'm doing my best Kermit impression.
I don't know. That looks like wacky arm waving tube man to me. But you will also hear once they share it with us, you will hear it from us too. And we will be absolutely one of the first subscribers to that magazine because it's such a great. The photos are great. The articles are great. We love it. Love it.
I mean, and there was an article in the float test edition from our very own Brian of the DCL Duo. So
there may be another article coming. So
yes.
We will see. We will see. All right. Well, Danny, have a good night.
So much. It's always a pleasure. Love chatting with you. And thanks again.
Thanks. See you later.
Thanks, Danny. We'll see you soon. All right. Well, let's begin, McKinley, with your presentation. But let's start. Let's let our audience get to know you a little bit better. McKinley, you're a travel advisor with My Path Unwinding Travel. Tell folks your traveling experience, where you like to go on your vacations, and your experience with Disney Cruise Line.
So my name is McKinley, like Sam said, and I am a travel advisor with My Path Unwinding Travel. I have been with them for about a year and a half. Before that, I was a nurse practitioner, And I haven't practiced a ton of medicine since I became a travel advisor. I'm very blessed that this has it has been a success, and I have been staying very busy. I loved to travel on Disney Cruise Line. My family and I just finished our 6th Disney cruise. We like to travel to lots of places, Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, just to the beach, all over, wherever, it doesn't matter. I love to travel. But yes, we have a big love for Disney Cruise Line.
Love that. Now, what made you book a Halloween on the High Seas cruise on the Disney Dream for this October? I mean, you just got back from it 9 days ago, McKinley.
Yes, we did. I know, and I still wish I was there. We honestly, this was our fall break. That's not the only reason we booked it, but it did align with our fall break. And we have been on a couple of Halloween on the High Seas cruises. We actually were on the Magic last year and boarded the Magic on Halloween. So that was really fun too. But so we knew what to expect. We love that Disney adds those extra touches in, and also when it's a themed cruise like the Halloween, it's not just one night, so they kind of spread it out over the cruise, which is nice.
Yeah, I love that. Especially if you're a big Halloween fan or you're a big Christmas fan, like instead of celebrating for, one night or one day, right? You can celebrate for, I don't know, as much as, a week, depending upon what sailing you're on. And as you said, they do spread out the events across the cruise. I love seeing this, the Mickey pumpkin in the atrium. For those of you not watching on YouTube, get onto YouTube. We got great visuals here that McKinley's giving us. And of course, you can listen to us on the podcast channels, but then you don't get to see these visuals. So let's start with what is a Halloween on the High Seas cruise, McKinley. What does that mean?
So it is, like I have on the slide, it is a special seasonal event that's on select Disney Cruise Line sailings. It typically starts in the middle of September and goes through the end of October. And it is a fun Halloween twist. The ship is completely transformed. You'll see lots of Halloween decorations and fall decorations, lots of pumpkins. There's a themed deck party. There's trick-or-treating. You will see the characters in their costumes. It's just really really fun. I mean, if you're someone that loves Halloween, I would highly to consider a Halloween on the High Seas cruise.
Now, McKinley, have you done Halloween at the parks? Like a Not So Scary or something like that?
Or Oogie Boogie Bash?
Oh, did we lose McKinley?
Oh, can you hear us?
I think we may have lost her.
I think we may have lost her sound. Can you hear us? Oh, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
that's
no
okay.
Worries. No worries.
Brian was asking, have you done like Oogie Boogie Bash at the parks or Mickey's Not So Scary at the parks?
I have not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I will say, like, if you go to Oogie Boogie, because I've never been to Mickey's Not So Scary. We've done Oogie Boogie at Disneyland, which is at California Adventure. And that's a ticketed event. It's a one-night event. Of course, you can book it many, many times, but you only get the hours that the park is open. You can either sort of do the character meet and greets and the trick-or-treat trails and the parade, or you can do the rides. It's really kind of hard to do both. I personally think that a Halloween on the High Seas cruise is a better Halloween option than just one night at a park. But I don't know, that's my personal opinion. What do you think, Brian? Which do you prefer now that we've done Oogie Boogie one time?
Oh, I'm doing Halloween on the High Seas all day long. Yeah, I mean, I mean, the only downside to it, from my perspective, is that like they hand out like full size candy. Well, they stopped doing that. They used to hand out like full size candy bars and all kinds of stuff. When we went to the one at Disneyland, that was not happening. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was I all day long. I'd do the Disney Cruise Line version of any of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Brian, let's go to the next slide. Here we go. Okay, so let's talk about what the ship looks like for Halloween on the high seas, McKinley.
Yeah, so the atrium is decorated and it's so beautiful. And as you can see in this picture, we have the pumpkin tree, and then it's draped beautifully in it. They add the pumpkins. I wish I had pictures of you could see the entire atrium, but it's just beautifully decorated.
Yeah, they do a really nice job, I think, on the classic ships of doing this pumpkin tree, which is pictured here, which is, when I say the classic ships, I mean the original 4. And then on the Wish and on the Treasure, they have a different tree. Like each one has a unique tree. I can't remember that they even have names. They don't call it the pumpkin tree.
Have names. Yeah.
You're breaking up for me there.
So on the Dream, the name is Grim.
Oh, Grim. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, we lost you for a second. On the Dream, the name is Grim, you said. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, well, and then there's decor in other places besides just the atrium, right? They decorate the restaurants with garlands, and then the kids clubs, and they do the same for Maritime as well from my memory. What do people do with their stateroom decor? You mentioned this at the beginning of the show that the people tend to go a little extra. What kinds of stuff did you see on your sailing?
Yeah.
We're having technical difficulties.
So I know like you said, we even saw people that would put out, they would hang like buckets of candy on the outside of their stateroom doors so people could just come and get candy, which was really cool. But lots and lots of decorations. And then also, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, those extras of the stateroom decor. So before you're sailing, you can get online and order like a little Halloween decoration package for your room, which comes with like a blanket and a banner, a plush pillow, and then a little bag that you can put it all in to take home with you at the end of the cruise.
I love that. Yeah. I love, like, obviously I showed this at the beginning. I have one of these. This is from a couple of years ago, I want to say. It's not the first time we went on Halloween on the high seas. I think we've been on 2 Halloween on the high seas, if I'm remembering correctly. We've been on a few more Maritime than Halloween sailings, but I love the stateroom decor package. This one came with a Mickey shaped pillow, and he's got these big ears, and it actually had like a pocket in the pillow so that you could, like, I think you're supposed to like maybe fold up the blanket and put the blanket in the pillow. I'm not sure how it would even fit in there, but it's really nice. It's nice that they have the decor packages for you to purchase on board.
Yes, and Tom Tweedle over on Facebook is helping us out with Ginger is the tree, the name of the tree on the Treasure. Yes.
Yeah, they all have different names, and
on the Treasure.
Yes. and they all have different names and slightly different theming, although the original ones, I mean, they're all a pumpkin tree, but they have a different sort of face of
Linda found them all.
Linda admits that she's extra, and I love this. Okay, so I'm going to read these. The Disney Magic is Reap. On the Disney Wonder, the tree is named Bog. On the Disney Dream, it's Grim. On the Disney Fantasy, it's Mucklebones. On the Disney Wish, it's Boo. And then on the Ginger on the Disney Treasure. I love that. I love that.
There you
Fantastic.
go. There you go.
All right, let's go to the next slide, Brian.
Yeah, I want to say one thing on the decor. What I really love about Disney Cruise Line is that the decor really complements the ship. It's not like it's not like they just like threw up a bunch of decor all over the place. Like they really try to like make it match the ship. And so, like, I mean, even from this picture, you can tell like the color of red they're using, or purple, I can't tell which, but like the color there is like it works with the rest of the ship, right? So anyway, I just really love, even at the holiday times, for all of these other specialty sailings, like they really work hard to make the decor kind of fit into the ship. And I know someone put on there, was it Ashley? She said that, yeah, the windows are my favorite. I love these when they do, like they turn it into a little pumpkin. Yeah. So
yeah, little jack-o'-lantern. So fun.
Some ships even do like villains also in the porthole windows.
Yeah.
Oh, super fun.
Yeah. All right. Next slide. The pumpkin tree. All right. We've named them
More
all.
about the pumpkin. Yes, we did name them all. So the pumpkin tree, they do on the very first night of the cruise, they do the lighting of the tree, which is a ceremony that people gather and watch. It's really, really cool because this is where they light the tree for the first time, and then it stays lit throughout the rest of the cruise. It's a pretty quick little, probably like 15 or 20-minute little ceremony that people just really just gather and sit in the atrium. So people aren't standing, which is nice. So you get a really good view of the tree. They have a caretaker that comes out and tells a little story, and then Grimm comes to life and asks the audience to scream and yell trick or treat before they play a little song from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and then the tree is lit.
And if you've got kids with you, the tip I would give you is they usually have a little reserved seating area for the kids right up front, so the adults can see on the back. They didn't have it on yours?
Yeah, Ryan, they did not do it on mine. I actually sat right in front with some kids, and I know because I have seen that before too, where they make a space just for kids, but they did not do that on the sailing.
Wow.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That's disappointing.
I know. I thought so too.
Yeah. Well, and this is one of the things, like the tree lighting for Christmas, the pumpkin lighting for Halloween. Like, if you want to go to this is one of those things where I recommend getting there a little bit early, because you're going to have the bottom floor of the atrium which is the third, deck 3 is going to be packed. And then you can see everything from up on deck 4 or deck 5 from one of the balconies. But like, you want to be on the side where you can see the face of the tree when it's lit up, or you want to see the storyteller, right? So like, you got to get there early enough to get a spot to be able to see, to get a decent view of the tree. And also, if you don't want to be like wall to wall behind multiple people. So this is one of those things where you do have to be there early.
This is a great question. From we got One Heartbeat over on YouTube asking, I've always been nervous about Halloween on the high seas sailings because of the weather / hurricane season. How was the weather and the seas? McKinley, how was it for you?
So the weather was fine. I will say I have been on cruises in October that it was a little bit better. We have probably been on 3 or 4 cruises during the hurricane season, and this one was probably the rainiest, even though there wasn't technically a hurricane going on. But it wasn't rough per se, like on the ship. We just had a little bit of a rainy day when we were at Castaway, and then our day at sea, which was our last day, was a bit rainy and windy. But it's just part of it. But that's the glory of being on a Disney cruise, is that there's so much to do throughout the day. You're never going to be bored. If it's raining outside, no worries. We'll, pull up that Navigator app. There are tons of activities to do throughout the day. So, and also I will say Disney is very, very good about, if there is weather, they try to stay away from that weather if possible, or, unfortunately sometimes the itinerary has to be changed. But overall, I have to say, I can't complain about the weather.
I'm trying to remember, Sam, our sailings.
Sorry, I was going to just say that they often try and sail out of bad weather if they can, but they can only sail so far because they've got to be at the next port stop the next day. And so, but we've had luck, I feel like, with sailings during hurricane season. We've sailed in August, we've sailed in September, we've sailed in October. All of those are within hurricane season, and we've been okay. That's not to say we haven't had a couple times where we've had rain or a little bit of rocky seas, but we have knock on wood, we have not sailed in an actual hurricane. And Ashley is saying in the comments that they sailed through a Category 1 hurricane going to Canada on a Halloween cruise. That would be scary and rough. And then it was rough for several hours. And in her other message, Brian, she's saying no one was allowed outside. They went through the calm of the eye and everything, and the captain said
Yeah.
obviously it was going to be rough for several hours.
We've had good luck with kind of the shoulder hurricane season periods in the past. But yes, buyer beware a bit.
Of
And
course. Well, travel insurance,
also
right?
good reason to have travel insurance. Yes.
Yes. Because if you,
Yes,
and if your flights get canceled because of weather, things like that, it's not just the cruise. Like even if you had travel insurance through the cruise line, this is the plug for travel insurance for all those other things that are involved with travel, not just the cruise. Linda did have a comment about skipping the golden Mickeys to wait for a front row spot for the tree lighting. So if you are somebody, like I said, if you are somebody who wants a really good view, this usually is done in between the two dinner seatings. So it's usually done at like 7:30 at night. So it's after first seating of dinner, but before second seating of dinner. And so nobody's at a show during that time. But if you want to, get it, I don't think you necessarily need to skip a show to get a spot for it. But I would say don't get there at 7:30 and expect to have a good view of the tree. Get there, I don't know, at 7. And if you want a front row, if front row is important to you, you're probably
these days the problem is it's all rope drop again. So like
yes,
I don't quibble with Linda over skipping a show. If the thing you really want to see is the pumpkin tree, then
yes, exactly. It's whatever your priority is.
I guarantee, however early you think you're going to be there, someone else will be there before you. That's just the way it works now. So yeah,
that is true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go to the next slide because we've got a few more things to cover for Halloween on the High Seas cruises.
Favorite characters and costumes.
All right. Tell us, McKinley, what you can see on a Halloween on the High Seas cruise when it comes to characters. I love this part.
Yes, this is the fun part for sure, is seeing all the characters in their different costumes. And as you can see, the picture of me with the Sanderson sisters, that's probably my favorite of the costumes that the characters are in. And like I had said earlier in the show, that you can find the characters in their Halloween costumes throughout their cruise. So it's not just like the night that they celebrate Halloween in particular. This picture actually I took the day after that we did the main Halloween party and everything. So definitely can find the characters throughout their cruise dressed up, which is nice.
Yeah. And you will find more than one costume for some of the characters. Yes. For example, you mentioned here, you got this great picture of the Sanderson sisters, and it's from Hocus Pocus, but it's Daisy and Minnie and Clarabelle dressed as the Sanderson sisters. But when you see Daisy around the ship in her Halloween costume, this is not what she's wearing. You only see her in the Sanderson sisters costume when she appears with this as a trio. You see her in a different costume, and same with Minnie. Yeah, and then the deck party, I think they maybe even have a third costume, if I'm not mistaken, McKinley.
And you can see that other picture. It's not a great picture, but the other picture on the slide is them at the masquerade party, and they are in a different costume as well.
Yeah. So if you are into different, when they're on stage at the masquerade party, you're not going to be able to get your picture taken with them. You'll be able to take a picture of them or video of them on the stage on the deck. But if you're into different costumes, you're definitely going to get to see them in different costumes. And even like Chip and Dale have like the cutest costumes. I think it's one of them's like a rotten apple and the other one's like a candy corn or something. I can't remember. It's just, they're so cute.
Yeah, I know. I think you can kind of see one of them in the background of that picture that I have on the slide. But yes, they're adorable. I wish I could have gotten all of them on stage, but I couldn't get that big of an angle of everyone. But yeah.
McKinley, did you do the trick-or-treating on board? Because I think a lot of folks are always curious what the trick-or-treating is like.
We've got another slide on that, Brian, I believe.
We can go to the next slide. Yeah.
There it is.
Fine. Yeah. There we go. So that's what the stage looks like before the masquerade party, before all the characters come out. And you can see Mickey in his costume there by himself. There is trick-or-treating that they did before the masquerade party started. So they had I know that you'll read different things online. Like some people say that there's stations around the pool deck where you can go and trick or treat. Last year on the Magic, they took us through. I don't know, it's not called Cabanas on the Magic, is it? They took us through the restaurant and there were different stations. And I don't know if that's because it was the Magic or because it was actually Halloween. But on this particular sailing, they just had one area and the bags were already filled and they were just handing them to people. So, I mean, and it was still, I mean, definitely a decent amount of candy. I mean, my kids couldn't eat it all in the rest of our sailing. So they don't spare the candy by any means. There's plenty of candy to be had. It's just that's how they did the trick-or-treating on this sailing.
Yeah, they've done it differently on different sailings. I remember the first time we went on a Halloween on the High Seas cruise, which was in 2018, you went to like 4 or 5 different locations around the ship. And then I think the last time we were on a Halloween on the High Seas, it was in Cabanas or in Marceline Market, I think Cabanas, where you went around and filled up your candy bag. And then we've also heard about other sailings, people just being handed a bag of candy. So I'm not sure that it's consistent across the fleet. I think they may do it differently depending upon what ship you're on. And I think they may have changed it over the years. But the point is, you will not leave without candy. So if you want candy, you can get candy. Absolutely.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
You will not go hungry on a cruise.
You will not go you will not go hungry on a cruise. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the deck party. I think, people obviously love Disney Cruise Line deck parties. On most sailings, you're going to have a pirate deck party. On a Halloween on the High Seas cruise, you might have a pirate deck party and a Mickey's Masquerade party, or you might just have a Mickey's Masquerade party. Tell us what the Mickey's Masquerade deck party looks like.
So all the characters are in their beautiful costumes and they do come out, and it's essentially like a dance party. They dance to and they play Halloween songs. So like my particular favorite one is the Monster Mash. So that's my favorite one that they do. But it's a dance party, and it typically lasts like probably about 20 to 30 minutes. And the cast members will come out and be interactive sometimes before the characters come out. So it's a good dance party in their Halloween costumes, and it's great.
I love it. I think it's super fun. I'm personally a fan of Thriller, if you can't tell from my dance move.
Your stellar dance moves. Yeah, Ashley has an interesting point. She said, I think they should do a costume parade of guests instead of. I wonder if they don't really highlight guest costumes or do like costume contests because they don't want people to go crazy. Although they have those pirate guys that get dressed up, the ghost, and they've had people in like crazy ghost makeup on the ships.
They have done costume contests before. I don't think they do them anymore, but they used to do them on Halloween cruises.
They will do them for adults. So like, like in like Evolution at night, when it's adult only, they will do, I think they call it, Halloween isn't just for kids. So they do some adult only themed things also during the Halloween on the High Seas cruises.
Yeah.
Cruising isn't just for old people, and Halloween's not just for kids. So there you go.
Halloween's not, I love it. Well, let's talk about some other things they have going on the ship. One of them you've listed here as movies. Tell us what you mean by that.
Okay, so they have the theater that will play movies, and they did play Halloween themed movies. So Hocus Pocus was playing, Hocus Pocus 2, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and then also non-themed Halloween movies as well. And then as you can see on this slide where it says Mickey's Masquerade Party, that's the Funnel Vision. And so they show movies there throughout the day, like when the pool is open. And they also showed some Halloween movies there as well. So again, just a nice little touch of, without being like overly themed, they do a really good job with that as well. So those were also shown throughout the cruise.
And I want to just put a PSA out there that the Halloween movies that are shown on Disney Cruise Line are not scary Halloween movies. They are Disney Halloween movies. For people like me who do not want...
No Mike Myers, not the comedian, but no Mike
Yeah.
Myers, the character.
I am
Yeah.
I am out on horror movies. I do not see scary movies. I don't even really like movies with witches, including Hocus Pocus, I'll be honest. But there's a spooky Toy Story episode. They'll show that on the Funnel Vision. There's, things like that. It's really, really fun. I gotta, say that there are guests who dress up for
Yes.
Halloween.
I wanted to
Tell us.
Yes.
I wanted to put up Ashley's comment on this, which was she had just Linda had said, I've seen inflatable Toy Story costumes on board. I will see your Toy Story and raise you Baymax. There was a guy who brought on like a full on Baymax like inflatable costume. Yeah. I mean, it was not quite Disney quality, but people wanted pictures with the dude in the atrium. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, McKinley, did your family do costumes? Did you do a family costume? And what were some of the best costumes you saw amongst the guests?
So we as a family did not dress up together. Now, my children, I have a son and a daughter, and they dressed as Maui and Moana, one of my favorite Disney movies. So that was sweet. And I did not get a picture of them, which is terrible because I would have put it on the slide, but I did not get a picture. But they love to dress up. My husband and I did not. We have done Toy Story before as a family on a Halloween on the High Seas cruise. But this time they did dress as Maui and Moana. We saw lots of great costumes on board. One of my favorite was from Ariel. Remind me of Ursula. Ursula. She had like the blow up costume. It was incredible. She had her face painted, her hair done. The whole family was dressed up like Little Mermaid. And that, I mean, it was great. It was wonderful. They had to have gotten best costume if there was an award.
I love that. I have to say, you see a lot of like group costumes on board Disney Cruise Line. You see, of course, Toy Story is a great one because there's so many different characters, especially if you have a bigger family or a larger group. You see a lot of Marvel costumes, especially a lot of little boys as Spider-Man. I mean, I can't tell you how many little Spider-Man I've seen on board Disney Cruise Line. We've seen a ton of Up costumes, like where you've got like somebody's Mr. Fredricksen, someone's Russell, someone's Ellie, and then of course someone has to be Kevin. Nobody's ever Doug, but somebody's always Kevin the bird.
I would totally be Doug. But the problem is a dog costume is...
No, I mean you have to be Mr. Fredricksen with the little
thanks.
The little cane with the tennis balls on it. That would be funny. Like
But a lot of people that dress up in non-Disney costumes too. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Disney.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and one of the things I think folks should know is that there is a night, as you mentioned, McKinley, that is sort of designated as Halloween night on if you're sailing, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's October 31st. You might be on a sailing where you're actually sailing on Halloween, and Halloween is not actually Halloween night because it's like maybe the first night of your cruise or the last night of your cruise and doesn't really work well in the schedule. So whatever that night is the night that you're typically going to wear your costume, right? And so there's that, and that's the night they're going to have the trick or treating. And so they'll let you know that in the Navigator app, or you can ask, and ahead of time, you can call Shoreside, customer service to just find out like when that Halloween night is going to be. You can't really call too far in advance because they won't know the schedule yet. But it is one of the really nice things to do is to plan your family, costumes, individual costumes or group costume. I think it's really fun.
I just need to say thank you to Ed who says Brian taking all the abuse. Yes. Thank you, Ed.
Listen, I gotta say our favorite costumes. I said this on the pre-show. I was talking to McKinley and to Danny on the pre-show. Nathan's first cruise on Disney Cruise Line was a Halloween on the High Seas cruise. It was on the Disney Wonder sailing out of San Diego. It was a 4-night cruise. Probably our worst cruise ever, not having anything to do with Halloween, just because that was when we were just figuring things out with our son Nathan. But we did a great family costume. It's like my favorite. I don't think we've ever done a family costume before, other than maybe on the Galactic Star Cruiser. But the best costumes we've ever done, I was Jessie, Nathan was Woody, and Brian was Stinky Pete. We were the Roundup gang, and we had a stuffed bullseye with us. I have the pictures. I'll post them on social media or repost them on social media because it's been a long time.
I'm going to try to find this now. This was October. This was your birthday cruise out of San Diego?
This was October of 2018, Brian. This was Nathan's first Disney cruise.
All right,
it just came up in our Facebook memories pretty recently, like maybe a week ago or so. So it was like we just had gotten off the cruise basically this time, like 8 years ago, 7 years ago. It's crazy. But yeah, it was just super, super fun costumes. We have a picture of us with Mickey Mouse, Brian. And he's in his like I don't know, what's it, like a vampire costume, maybe. He's got like a cape or something, and he's wearing kind of a suit. Well, McKinley, I gotta ask, you've now been on 2, I think you said 2 Halloween on the High Seas cruises, maybe 3. Would you book another Halloween on the High Seas cruise? Are there other themed cruises you would prefer to go on? Like, where does this sort of fit in your rankings of, where, like, would you want to do this over a different kind of cruise, or, is a themed cruise better for you?
I love a themed cruise. And like I said earlier, you're never going to be bored. There's plenty of things to do. I also have done a maritime cruise, and we really enjoyed that as well. I think the Halloween, though, I feel like everyone, not just kids, but everyone can just, their personality shine when they choose that costume that they want to wear for Halloween. So it really is one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah. Well, and there's a couple of other things that happen on board. Well, they're not like different activities than are normally happening, but they're like the theming gets blended into other activities. For example, like there might be like a music trivia that's got a Halloween bent to it, or a general Halloween trivia. Brian is going to pull up this picture. There it is.
How sweet.
Isn't that cute? Brian has a little it's like part of the box cut out. It's around his Brian, can you make it bigger? Just make this window bigger. Oh, that's better, but not exactly what I was envisioning. I meant to make the whole window bigger, but there you go. Yeah. There we go. I love it. That's like, it's the best family costume ever. Brian, I can't hear you, Brian.
I can't either.
Yeah, we can't hear you. We lost you. We can see you, but we can't hear you.
There we go. Sorry,
there you are.
I was in the not live mode. Anyway, because I was trying to pull this up. So anyway, I have the little box up there because Pete was new in the box. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh yes, Pete was new in the box. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, I love this costume. It's a great one. My wig was fantastic. My wig was made out of yarn. Like my mom made that wig. It was not a full wig. It just attached to the hat. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But I gotta say, we got to get back on a Halloween on the High Seas cruise, Brian. We don't have one on the calendar. We haven't been on one in a while. The problem is for us, we don't have a fall break. We have no fall break like you have, McKinley. And we're also on the West Coast. So even if we had like a 3-day weekend, it would be really difficult to get, well,
all right.
Yeah, all the way across.
Sorry, I have to put this up now if it works, because Tracy sent me this photo.
I'm telling you. I said
Tracy,
Mr. Fredrickson.
Tracy, we're just not friends anymore at this point. If you're comparing me to Mr. Fredrickson, oh gosh, Tracy. Anyway, for those of you watching at home later, Tracy has put up a photo of me right next to Mr. Fredrickson.
That's right.
So there
Listen,
you go.
Brian's eyebrows are not quite as crazy as Mr. Fredrickson's eyebrows.
Not quite as crazy. Thanks for the qualifier.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
All right. Well, McKinley, as we end the show here, what is the one themed cruise that you haven't been on that you are dying to get on?
We have not done Pixar, so I would like to do that one. We have not done that yet.
Yeah, that's the one. I mean, we haven't done Marvel or Pixar, so I would really love to get on one of those. I feel like the Destiny is kind of going to scratch that Marvel itch, so I might be okay with putting off, like I keep putting off a Marvel Day at Sea cruise, but hopefully all the Marvel that we get on the Destiny will be enough.
One thing I'll say about these specialty cruises is oftentimes they're not always scheduled. They're a way to bring people to, they're using them to bring them to Fort Lauderdale for a while. They were also happening at times of year when the ships wouldn't fill naturally.
Oh, sure.
So it's not like you're going to hit a spring break cruise that is a Marvel Day at Sea or Pixar. So it's like, so part of it is we're not actively avoiding it. It's just never on a sailing that we would book ourselves, because it's not like the ship. I don't think these theme cruises work super well when the ship is like full to the gills. And so I think part of it is they put them on the ship at times when the ship may not be completely full, as a way to bring more people in. Right. So anyway.
Sure. Well, although the Halloween and the Maritime ones obviously span the months of time that they are appropriate.
Yeah. But then you're paying an extra premium because it's Christmas on Disney Cruise Line. Get out your checkbooks. So the Marvel Day at Sea, Pixar Day at Sea, Halloween Day at Sea, like they all tend to happen at, obviously they happen at, Halloween happens in October, but they happen at times of year when there's not always naturally a school break happening. And I think that's a bit deliberate on their part. So, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, McKinley, I'm going to ask you the question that Brian always likes to ask our guests, which is, what's next for you? What is your next sailing on Disney Cruise Line? Do you have something booked, or are you eyeing something?
So we do. We are going to go on the Wish in April. It is a 3-night sailing, and I'm currently trying to talk my husband into doing a back-to-back. So we'll see how that goes. He has not been on the Wish. So my kids and I went on the Wish for the first time in August, right before school started, and we absolutely loved it. And so I know that when he gets on there and it's only for 3 nights, he's going to be like, we should have done the back-to-back. So I'm working on him.
Which ships are you missing? Which ones have you not been on?
I'm missing the Treasure, the Wonder, and I guess that's all.
Nice.
I tell you what.
And then obviously the Destiny. I'm not on the Destiny.
I'll tell you what, McKinley. Those 2 ships, life-changing.
They're the 2 best.
They're the 2 best.
They're the 2 best.
Yeah. No, right? No, I hope my husband's watching. Y'all say that again.
Yeah.
So he can hear it.
The Wonder and the Treasure, the 2 best. And listen to McKinley and book that back-to-back, because you're going to be disappointed to get off after only 3 nights to get off the Wish. I'm not like, the Wish is a lovely ship, but there's too much to do in the 3-night sailing.
Just don't worry about the back-to-back. Just 7 nights on the Treasure and you're solid. There you go.
You could just switch to a
7-night on the Treasure. I know. But the 3-night, we're going with family. So that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the show when I said I tried to get them to do the Destiny. But it's okay. It's okay. There's, that leaves opportunity for others. So
absolutely. Well, McKinley, why don't you tell folks where they can find you if they'd like to book a Disney Cruise Line cruise or other amazing, luxurious vacation with you?
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram. My handle is MH Luxury Travel. You can also find us on mypathandwinding.com. That's the website as well, where the travel agency that I'm with. So either one of those. Also, my email is mckinley@mypathandwinding.com.
Awesome. And if you reach out to My Path Unwinding Travel, make sure to mention that you heard of them or McKinley on the DCL Duo podcast. We have a special link, of course, that's mypathandwinding.com/DCL Duo. But if you put in that request form, you can certainly request to work with McKinley or to work with Kaylee or Angie or any of the other agents that we've had on our show. You can always request to work with somebody specific, or you can just request to work with whoever Karen thinks might be a good match for you. But McKinley, we really appreciate you coming on the show. We thank you so much for joining us to talk about Halloween on the high seas and other themed cruising. It's been such a pleasure having you.
Thank you all so much for having me. It was fun.
Sam, do I have to ask you my question? What's next?
What's next?
Are we back next week or what?
We are back next week, and we are back with the one and only Karen Shelton from My Path Unwinding Travel. We're going to be talking about her Adventures by Disney trip to Peru. We have not covered this Adventures by Disney itinerary before. It was her first time on this itinerary, and she is raving about it. She says it's a once-in-a-lifetime, amazing itinerary. So I can't wait to hear all about it. So join us next week. For those listening and watching, we will be live Monday, October 27th, talking about that Peru ABD. It will be at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And always, of course, you can always watch us after the fact on YouTube or listen to us on anywhere that you find podcasts. But make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and give us those 5 stars on Apple Podcasts if you haven't already. And with that, we will just say, have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
And go Mariners.
And go...